Welcome to the Guerin Report. It's the last show before Christmas. We wanted to do something different for this show. Over the last year, we've had some really heavy hitters and some serious subjects on our show. I hope you've enjoyed them. This time, we wanted to give you something to watch over the break. Some of the great moments of New Zealand racing this century. Now, we needed some criteria for this. The first one is it had to be a wow. You've got to watch this and go, wow, that was pretty incredible. There's a long list. We had to parry it down. Then we needed a criteria. What does a New Zealand horse or dog mean? Well, the rules, we had to come up with some, is since New Year's Day 2000, performances by horses who are either majority owned or trained in New Zealand or have a very, very distinctive flavour, even if they didn't quite make that criteria. You'll see one of those coming up on tonight's show. So, for example, a horse like Nature Strip, him winning at Ascot, absolutely amazing. Has some New Zealand owners, has, of course, James McDonald and Chris Waller behind him, but doesn't quite make the criteria. He was bred in Australia, sold there. He doesn't quite get into the bunch. And I tell you what, there's plenty of amazing ones who do. So this is not definitive. This is just my opinion from races we've all seen together. Some of them you would have never forgotten about. They're burnt into your memory, like this first one. Others, you might look back on and go, wow, yeah, that was it. There's that word, wow. Let's go through the top 10 wow New Zealand moments of the century so far. Let's start. It's in chronological order, by the way. So we're starting in the dates and going through them because it was too big a job to work out what the most wow was. Still, it could be this girl. Back in 2000, the beautiful, remarkable Sunline, who was buried, of course, at Ellerslie in the Rose Gardens, went to the Valley and she did something quite remarkable. The Cox Plate is supposed to be bare knuckle fighting between horses. You don't distance them in a Cox Plate. You don't do this to them in a Cox Plate. The first of our wow moments, Sunline at the Valley.
At the 800 metres turn where Sunline had drawn about a half length in front now. Fubu between runners and then Testarossa. Well back is Referral. Tie the Knot beat the Fade. Showerheart a long way back from Diatribe, Shogun Lodge and Oliver Twist, but by the 600 metres. And Sunline raced about 3 lengths in front here from Scusi Please going to second. Testarossa to third. Then the Message who's gone. She's going to take some beating, this great mare. Next is Diatribe. Nothing's making ground on her. She's away, Sunline. She leads by 4 lengths. The champion New Zealand mare has raced away in the Cox Plate. Diatribe and Referral are running onto the placings, followed by Testarossa and then Scusi Please. But the champion mare is going to kill them. She's 5 in front, Sunline, and a piece of racing history. Back-to-back Cox Plates for the champion mare, Sunline. She's won it by 6 lengths easily.
Well, actually, at the 1,000-metre mark, she started to pull, and Trevor said, don't have her pulling. Yep. So I went forward and just nursed her, but she loves the Valley. It's her track, and this is her race today.
Richard Animal on 4 legs, Greg. Well done.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you very much, Simon. Well, as she comes back to scale, you've never heard a reception like it. The crowd are really saluting this mighty Kiwi mare.
When you watch it, you still shake your head. You think, how can you win a Cox Plate by that much, you big, beautiful girl? From one beautiful New Zealand mare to another one. It was November 6, 2001 at Flemington when Ethereal won the Melbourne Cup. Now, not only did she beat some very good European horses doing that, but she completed the double, the Caulfield and Melbourne Cup. At the time, it was big, but it didn't feel as big as it does now. You think about the way racing's gone, how hard it is to do the Caulfield and Melbourne Cup double for a New Zealand horse. Not many horses have ever been able to achieve it. There's a good chance it may never happen again. She stormed down the middle of the Flemington Straight in those famous blue and white colours of the Valla brothers. Looking back now, this was something incredibly special. It may even feel more special in the next 25 years. Here's our second wow moment. Here's Ethereal winning the Cup.
1,500 to go. Give the slip by 2 lengths to Freemason. Third, Celestial Show's had the box seat run so far. 3 wide Persian Punches had to do it real tough with a big weight. Then in 5th position, Karasi, a length and a half to Marion Bard. It's also been racing wide. On the rails, Pastor Express has had a nice run, a length away the mare Hill of Grace. Then came the Caulfield Cup winner, Ethereal. Rum about midfield on the rails, a length away, Spirit of Westbury. Then Prophet's Kiss, May the Horse Be With You. Currado Storm's been wide. Then came nearer the inside, May the Horse Be With You. Getting past it now was Caetano from In a Flurry. Then came Rain Gauge about 15 lengths off the lead. Currado Storm is gone. It's been passed by Big Pat Reenact. Also Yippee-I-Yo, Sky Heights a long way from them. Then Mr. Prudent as Currado Storm dropped out. About 700 left to travel and give the slip by a length to Persian Punch. 3 lengths away, Karasi, Celestial Storm. Ethereal runs on from Marion Bard, hard ridden, and they were followed back in the field by May the Horse Be With You as they round the home turn. They've got about 500 left to travel and give the slip led into the straight. 2 lengths away, Persian Punch. Then Caetano into the clear, Karasi. Ethereal, Celestial Show, then Marion Bard. Further back to May the Horse Be With You. Give the slip in front. 4 lengths to the mare, Ethereal giving chase. Then Persian Punch. Further back to May the Horse Be With You. The leader give the slip. Ethereal's coming hard on the outside. The New Zealand mare. Ethereal after give the slip. Ethereal hit the lead in the cup. Ethereal takes the Caulfield Melbourne Cup double.
All credit goes to the mare and Sheila Laxon. The owners for having faith in me to keep me on. I've been on a few handy horses, but never on their back long enough to be real successful with them. So it's a bit late in my career, but geez, I hope I can kick-start it off.
Scotty, it's better to be late in your career than never, isn't it?
It certainly is.
It was all right, wasn't it? Isn't she super?
I think she's super, and I bet you do too.
She's the best.
A very different type of horse from Ethereal, but no less a champion, was the great Lyle Creek. On April the 29th, 2004, he went to Alexandra Park for a Rowe Cup. Nothing tremendously remarkable about that, except Lyle Creek had left New Zealand in 2000. He had won everything in Australasia that mattered, and he had headed to Sweden, where he took on the best horses in the world, went to North America, raced against some of the best there, but he also, as many horses in that part of the world do, was taught to race on Lasix, which is an anti-bleeding drug. A lot of them just race on it. Doesn't mean they're bleeding, it just means that they have it in their systems. Very hard to wean a horse off that. At the end of his career, he returned home here to New Zealand to trainer Tim Butt and driver Anthony Butt. By the time he got to Alexandra Park on that April night, he was an old man with old bones, weaned off Lasix. Could he still be the Lyle Creek of old? You decide.
They went through the half in 63.1. Adu's Invasion followed Young Pointer, Major Decision. Then Sophocles, Play On, Pompallier, Too Much to Do, and Andandon. But Lyle Creek sneaked the break of 2.5 on Martina H. Adu's Invasion. They're followed by Sundon's Luck, Sophocles, and Major Decision. In the centre, Lanson, followed by Our First Duel. Then Pompallier, Young Pointer, Play On, Too Much to Do, Andandon, and Allegro Agitato. But Lyle Creek across the top now on the Rowe Cup by 1.5. On the inside is Martina H. Adu's Invasion's ready to pound Sophocles right in the fight. They're followed by Our First Duel. Then we've got Sundon's Luck and Major Decision. Lyle Creek, Anthony Butt went to full overdrive. It got out 2 over Martina H, and they followed Sophocles. In behind them, Adu's Invasion. Lyle Creek has got them shot to pieces. The Pacific Seat and Core Rowe Cup is all over. He takes the peep over the shoulder, and the champ Lyle Creek by 8 lengths. Second at the line is going to be Young Pointer. Sophocles is third. What a win.
After that win, Anthony Butt said, "I don't think many of us will ever see something like that again." I think he was right. Let's move on to August 2005. And this is one of those wins, when I was doing the research for this, I had to watch it a couple of times because I thought, no, I'm looking at the wrong horse. That can't be Excellent. This is the Mudgeway Parts World Stakes. Now, Excellent was, of course, a great 3-year-old who won the Derby. But by the time he got to this is open class racing. This is weight for age. He's only 4. He'd only had the 6 starts. And, well, he looked a bit new. We're going to show you the start here to see what happens. And then watch as they come into the 600-metre mark. You look at Excellent against Group 1 1,400-metre horses and you think, well, he can't win. Well, guess what? He can.
Racing in the Mudgeway, clean sweep, missed it by 4 lengths, getting back excellent as well. Marufati came away quickly, missed Potential, she's burning through, she'll lead. Shinzig sitting second, Marufati third, the Jewelers fourth and Bulgan fifth. Magnetism goes forward, Belmuse behind these runners, and then Zvezda going forward a little wider out. Then Bulgan got a bit of a check, Silky Red Box of the inside. Pacific Dancer over on the outside of those runners as they travel on down the back of the track, and in company with those runners, Irish Rover. Clean sweep the next over on the inside, a Rapid K. Mandela second to last, and Excellent is last of all. Miss Potential brings them down the side of the course, just in front of Shinzig and Zvezda Sri out. Marufati right behind them as to the Jewel, and Magnetism on the outside with a card into the race. 600 metres to go in the Mudgeway. Ben Spart is the next over on the inside of the Celt winner, Belmuse. Irish Rover, Silky Red Box, a Pacific Dancer behind these as they swing, and then Bulgan clean sweep Excellent a long way back with Mandela as they go for home. Shinzig and Miss Potential, they race to the 300 metres together. Here's the Jewel after them. Then we've got on the outside Irish Rover, Belmuse coming across heels as well. Miss Potential, Shinzig over on the outside, the Jewel wide of Belmuse, and look at Excellent! Look at Excellent flying right down the outside. Amazing! He is a megastar! Excellent, outstanding! How's he done this? Absolutely amazing. Well, look, she was going to do it again, wasn't she? Shinzig was trying very hard the outside. Belmuse was giving himself a chance in the race as well. And for him to run past these horses, goodness knows what his last 400 or 200 has been. Have you seen a performance like this for a little while? I think he's upstaged StarCraft.
Yeah, I think you agree that deserves to be on the wow list, possibly the most physically impossible looking win on the list, although there's one coming up here that might challenge it. Let's change codes again. When you talk about horses getting distanced off the back of the field, it's not often they disappear off your television screen. Greyhound racing had one of the most amazing moments of racing in this country in the last 25 years when Swift Fantasy went to the Wanganui Stayers in 2010. Hey, it's a greyhound race. We don't need to talk too much more about it. You can watch the whole thing. Here's Swift Fantasy, although for about half the race, you can't see her.
Bunny heads up to the start. They're set and they're ready. Racing, Swift Fantasy back last as Bonnie Boucher's going to lead to the lead from Opawa Paddy. Trying to charge after them was Varvatos, and Awesome Bender will have to go via the Cape. Inside there for Sudden Sam, off the track and Blazy Melandri, and 10 lengths away to Swift Fantasy. They come up the first time. Opawa Paddy drove to the lead. Big Varvatos strides up wide there with Awesome Bender, who's into the clear. Then we go back to Melandri's pretty handy. Inside for Sudden Sam, Bonnie Boucher back to the tail and Blazing, and where is she? She's still 6 lengths away. They hear down the back, and Awesome Bender's charged to the lead from the inside. Opawa Paddy looking to run now. Comes Melandri with a big burst. Here's Swift Fantasy hooking to the outside a bit late. Awesome Bender in front. Swift Fantasy, go baby!
Sensational indeed. Unfortunately, greyhound racing will soon be killed off in this country, and moments like that make me realise what we're going to miss. On this list, you're not supposed to have favourites because how can you not love Sunline or not love Excellent? But for me, for graphic winning of a race that sits alongside Sunline, I'll give you the context. Lazarus went to Addington in 2016 and everybody knew he was the real deal. He was a really good horse. But what he did in the New Zealand Cup simply defies belief. To set this up for you, horses who ran second and fourth in this race, second and fourth, went on to become Inter-Dominion champions, Smolder and Tiger Tara. This is also the fastest ever New Zealand Cup paced. This by a horse who at the time was 4, under the new harness racing rules, he would still be 3. And here's the kicker. Well, I'm not going to tell you, you just watch. Look at the gap the great Lazarus pids on Inter-Dominion champions.
Franco Nelson's in the middle. Massini's 4 back on the peg row. Moonrock 3 wide from Mighty Flying Mac Mossdale Connor. Brilliant Strike last on the 3 wide line and tailed off quick as a trick, and Louis Risk 30.7 for the first quarter. They're on the homeward lap in the great race, and it's the favourite Lazarus leading by a length and a half. Here's Chris and Me, 3 wide, sliding to second. Smolders in the trail. Have Faith in Me goes to the 1-1. Tiger Tara, 5th the pegs from No Doctor Needed. Then Massini, Moonrock 3 wide. The middle Titan Banner as Have Faith in Me jumped out of his gear going down the back. No faith for Have Faith in Me. He can't win the cup. Leader is Lazarus. Things have been to plan right through. They remain the same at the 600. Chris and Me's a length and a half away. Smolder will try and get him on the Terror to Love It. Pine Leaf Farm passing lane from Tiger Tara. Second quarter, 29, 59.7 for the half. They're 400 metres out. Lazarus for Mark Purden leads. Chris and Me's a length and a half away. Smolder's going to try and get the leader, but Lazarus kicked away. 3 wide Tiger Tara, 4 out Franco Nelson. He had a look, Mark Purden. He sent Lazarus for home. Third quarter, 28.4. Lazarus is out by 5 lengths, Tiger Tara. Then Smolder and Tiger Tara. But it is all Lazarus clear of Tiger Tara. And once again, Lazarus has arisen.
He's just been simply too good.
Yeah, it was just a marvellous. Like the time just astounds me. I just had a handful of horse around the corner, and when I said, "Come on, boy," I knew Christian Me was sort of struggling a bit, and I saw Have Faith in Me make a mistake down the back, and Smolder was just, it sounded like he was just labouring a little bit, and I said, "Come on, boy, let's get a break now," and honestly, he just put it beyond doubt in about 50 metres.
One of the great horses of my time in New Zealand racing, yep, just officially, by the way, that was 10 lengths in race and New Zealand record time, beating 2 Inter-Dominion champions. When I said before about physically impossible wins with Excellent, because you look at it and go, well, that's just incredible. What about this? A maiden steeplechase makes our wow moments of the last quarter of a century. In 2018, Des de Jour and Aaron Kuru went to a maiden steeplechase at Awapuni. Surely nothing interesting could happen here. Well, we're going to show you the start of the race, and then we're going to show you the end of the race, because they really shouldn't exist in the same place.
Who Can Tell is about to complete the line for the first, the ITM Frame and Trust Maiden Chase over the 3,200 metres, 16 in front of them. We're ready and racing. Off they go now, and our Cantos has gone back, as to then, and they settle down as Sir Al Sid. There's a few of them up near the pace as they head towards the first. Guerin, the favourite in front. Giving a sight now from Jealous Boy. Oh, Des de Jour just dipped on landing. Nearly dropped the jockey. That's an unbelievable effort to get back into the saddle there. Fabulous stuff from Aaron Kuru. No wonder he's a frigate winning them. Meanwhile, Eddie's back and having a chase down of these. Alden Rock went awfully at that one. Coming to the next, and Guerin reached for it, over it okay, and takes the lead now from the second one, 4 lengths away. Jealous Boy. As our Countess takes over here, and then LB Sid, and the last is Alden Rock, as Old Countess has gone past Guerin. Buddy Lammas aggressive here again. Takes over by 2 from Guerin. He hasn't got Urgent yet, Fannin, and right on them, Des de Jour and Aaron Kuru. Is amazing to still be in the race here. About 5 Our Jacksons hanging in there. And then Who Can Tell? That's the race, barring accidents, as they come on down the side. Long flat run before they come to the next. And Guerin goes around, takes the front again from Old Countess. And now we've got on the outside, Des de Jour is moving into the race nicely. Our Countess drifted back to third. Our Jackson runs on, and then Who Can Tell? So as they race up towards the home corner, and Guerin by 2, maybe 3, as they come towards the home corner. They've got 2 to clear, 400 metres out from Des de Jour. Over on the inside is trying hard, and there's not much between them as they side up towards the last. Guerin over it from Des de Jour, who's a length and a half away, and then our Old Countess and Our Jackson. Guerin coming to the last, got over it. Des de Jour's having another dip over on the outside, coming home now. Des de Jour, Guerin fights hard. Des de Jour's just in front. What an amazing victory! Des de Jour, and he loved it, Kuru.
Oh my word, that's just ridiculous. What a performance. I've never seen the like, but he's a pretty talented man, and number 16, the money came, and he's delivered really nicely.
Well, the great Tony Lee asked the question, have you ever seen anything like that? Well, actually, no, I hadn't. And that's why it became a social media sensation all over the world. Probably Aaron Kuru deserves the acclaim just alongside Des de Jure, but what a remarkable, wow, racing moment. This one is not in New Zealand. We head back to Melbourne. It's 2021, but this is not just about a horse. One of our horses, bred and mainly owned in New Zealand, and Very Elegant, winning the greatest and most historical of the Australian races. It's about a moment in time for New Zealanders, for the owners, the breeders, for Chris Waller, and for James McDonald, who people said when he was disqualified for 18 months, he won't come back. He's too heavy. He'll never win a Melbourne Cup. And yet on this day, the fairy tale came together and created one of the most iconic moments in the history of New Zealand racing. James McDonald, head in hand, crossing the line. This is a moment that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
800 metres to run, and it's Persan just in front of Incentivize, who gets a bit closer. Grand Promenade 3/4 of a length away third. Behind those horses then is Floating Artist, given every possible chance. Knight's Orders regressing. Coming around the outside and getting closer is Spanish Mission, and also Very Elegant from Delphi. Treliros under the whip from Great House. It's now taking the lead. Incentivize at the top of the straight. At the 400 metres, a length and a half. Floating Artist. Here's Very Elegant. She's coming home. 300 to go. The mighty mare moves up to Incentivize and races on by. Then Floating Artist, Spanish Mission. But Very Elegant at the 150. The darling of the turf has raced clear 3 lengths. Incentivize, and it's Very Elegant. 10 Group 1s, and now the greatest of them all, the Melbourne Cup. Very Elegant wins by 3.5.
If you want to know more about what that moment meant to James McDonald, of course, trackside.co.nz has a whole heap of former Guerin reports dating right back to our first show, where James speaks about that moment, how that picture actually hangs in his house.
Everyone said, oh, did you rehearse that, or did you... That was like spirit of the moment sort of stuff, and we see it with salutes all the time. Some come just off the cuff, and that was one.
Sometimes a wow moment to make this list isn't just about the physical performance of the horse or even the class of the race, although this is a pretty darn good race. Back on March the 11th, New Zealand mare Rockin' Horse went to Flemington. She was 100 to 1 in the Newmarket, a Group 1 against some of Australia's best sprinters. 100 to 1 chances, of course, don't win major races. New Zealand horses, this was her first start in Australia, back then didn't win Australian Group 1 sprints. Cat Williams, now Dame Cat Williams, got out of bed early in the morning, flew all the way to Melbourne to support her horse at 100 to 1. Who does that? And then Rockin' Horse repaid her also. This makes the list because, of course, she was trained by a legend of New Zealand racing who sadly is no longer with us in Mike Moroney. Here's Rockin' Horse stunning the Aussies at Flemington in 2022.
Stand by, and they're racing. Nature Strip jumped quickly with Rothfire. Front page was clearly the best out, though. Lofty Strike began okay, got to 4th, then Paul Laley. And behind those horses is Rockin' Horse, the Inferno's last of the pack over on the far side. Giga Kick would probably spot the lead about 3 lengths at this point of the race. Over on the outside, Rothfire, Nature Strip together, followed by Rockin' Horse behind those with Paul Laley, the astrologist Levante. Then came Giga Kick in the next line, Argentia Mask Crusader Baller. Over on the far side, front page led Lofty Strike, Bella Nipotina and the Inferno. So Nature Strip in a rhythm, came onto the course proper at the 550, led the entire field by a length. Rothfire, they were followed by Levante, front page, and Lofty Strike over on the far side from Bella Nipotina. Giga Kick's almost gone back to last. Nature Strip has plenty of company here. Front page, Lofty Strike together with Nature Strip. They were followed by Rockin' Horse and Rothfire, and back in the field on the outside, Levante. Nature Strip with plenty of challenges. Lofty Strike, front page, Rockin' Horse. Nature Strip's going to have to lift. Rockin' Horse, the centre just in front of Nature Strip. Rockin' Horse has won it from Nature Strip, and they were followed followed by Boulder. Late for fourth, Giga Kick, Lofty Strike, Levante all there from Rothfire, Paulali front page, then Bella Nipotina, Mars Crusader, Argentia, and at the end of the field, the Inferno.
You have a look at this. This is Kath Williams there. Yeah. This unbelievable. Catherine Williams, husband of Sam, who bred the horse, broken back, a quadriplegic in an equestrian race. Came down to see the horse win at 100 to 1 to win the Newmarket. And now, look at this, just the scenes there of unbridled joy. This is the emotion that horse racing brings. You can talk about having a punt and winning the money and $3 million. This is the moment in time for a family who love the horse so much to win this race.
A remarkable racing moment there, and of course she doubled down about 8 months later, did Rock and Horse, by winning another Group 1 down the straight at Flemington. That sort of kicked off a renaissance for New Zealand sprinting. We've seen Imperatriz, of course, and the great Ka Ying Rising go to Australia or Hong Kong and do remarkable things. Imperatriz did so many things that were incredible, but maybe the moment that ignited her career, that made all of us go, wow, what's going on here, was this moment. The McEwen Stakes, the Everest champion, Giga Kick, was in the race. It was 1,000 metres. It was going to be too short for Imperatriz. We all knew that. McD was going to, at some stage, have to come from last with some very, very special horses in front of him. Here's the moment where Imperatriz said to us, I'm no longer a very good horse. I'm a New Zealand champion.
I wonder if we've got a manual start coming up. We do. I think it was a manual start there racing, and Giga Kick missed it by a length and a half. Acromantula began quickly with Sarah Dess, and also Zoo Style as Burning Rubber. How's the Serenity got to fourth, and they were followed behind those by Rothfire, Imperatriz, and Giga Kick is last of all. Zoo Style is the front runner through the gap at the 700 metres, led by a neck to Acromantula. A length and a quarter. How's the Serenity, Sarah Dess, and they were followed by Rothfire, Imperatriz, and Giga Kick's getting going from the back of the field. Satellite has gone past one's gone past two, and is only 4 off the lead coming up to the corner. 400 metres to go. Zoo Style from Acromantula. Then how's the Serenity? Giga Kick is trying to loop them 4 and 5 deep, followed by Rothfire. Imperatriz is going to come the widest into the running. Terrific race at the 150. Imperatriz has swept past all of them and has raced up and grabbed the lead from Giga Kick and Rothfire. What a win this. Imperatriz, a magnificent display, has won by 2 and a quarter. Rothfire and Giga Kick.
Another unbelievable New Zealand performance. So that's our list. That's 10 of the greatest wow moments for New Zealand horses, or dogs, as the case may be, since 2000. I know you'd have a few more you could possibly add to the list. So did I. I've took a couple on and put them in other places, and it took us a long time to come up with it, but wow had to be the central word. Terror to Love won 3 New Zealand Cups. Only 3 horses in history have done that. He did it after galloping away in a race. Extravagant won a 2,000 guineas at Riccarton by such a gigantic margin, it was scarcely believable. We've seen great successes from New Zealand associated horses. Ka Ying Rising, obviously winning in Everest. Even horses like Golden 60, who were sold here out of the ready-to-run sales, lighting up our Sunday nights with those magical wins at Sharton. El Sue won a Hunter Cup back in 2005, literally sitting in the middle of the track for the last lap and a half. You've probably got your own ones too. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment below. Tell us the ones that you would have added to the list, but don't forget the criteria. They had to be primarily New Zealand-based horses or dogs. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was something different leading into Christmas for you, something a bit more relaxing here from us at the Guerin Report. That's our Christmas gift to you. Thanks for watching the show throughout the year. We'll be back next week with a bit of form leading into Ellersley's big show. But from all of us here at the Guerin Report, Merry Christmas.